Hey guys, quick conversation about feedback, and particularly feedback that you don't really enjoy receiving. So, as you're working on your game or your product or your service or whatever it is that you're working on, when you put it out there, you need to get feedback from your customers or from your students or from your players. It's very important that you get that conversation going so you can improve it and make it better. And along the way, you're going to get some feedback that you don't enjoy. And I had that recently. I had two pieces of feedback. One was on a video. It was the case study of The Witness that I did. And I wanted to be fairly quick and get to my point, which is make a game, but don't expect everyone to like it. Kind of a little bit like this video in a way about feedback and about not everyone's going to like what you do. And someone wrote on that in my comments there, they wrote, this is a pretty shallow piece of feedback. If you want some proper or better, I don't think they said proper, they said, if you want a deeper piece of analysis, go over here and check out this link. And it was totally valid. That piece of feedback was incredibly valid and accurate. I did a shallow analysis because I wanted to just make a couple of quick points about, here's a game, here's a couple of things you can learn from it. It wasn't deep, it wasn't a heavy video. And so in that point, what I could learn out of that feedback was, first of all, some people would like deeper analysis, which gives me an idea. Oh, maybe I can do some videos that are longer and deeper. And I do take 20 minutes to go through the full depth of a game and lots of deepness and how you create it and calculate it and figure it out and design and marketing. So that could be a thing. I do have some longer videos that people seem to enjoy. So as a reminder, not all people want the quicker, more consumable while you're having your cup of tea videos, or coffee, if you guys are coffee drinkers, or glass of water if you'd prefer, or juice. As relevant as that conversation is. And that was a really good thing for me to stay connected to. And the other thing that I stayed very connected to in that conversation was I'd probably get around about 50 positive, you can do it, keep it up, I like this, thanks for the video, this is great stuff, to one not so good. This was a crappy video, or you don't know what you're talking about, or, you're terrible, that kind of video. Sorry, that kind of comment or feedback. And 50 to 1, you've got to keep it in perspective, right? So 50 to 1 is really good. That means things are going well. And I need to hold on to that when I get that one. So if you've got your game out there and you're getting feedback on it, and you're telling people about it, and you've got 10 people like, man, this is so good, having so much fun, this is great. One person's like, this is garbage. Nintendo's already done this 20 years ago. What are you thinking? Then keep it in context. Keep perspective. Don't let that one person completely derail you or completely destroy you on the inside or push your buttons. So to remember to listen to the feedback and learn from it. Now there's something worse than negative feedback, and that is silence. Silence is terrible. You can't learn from it. You can't use it. Maybe you can learn from it, but it's not as useful, right? If you put something out there and you show it to your friends and you don't hear back from them, you throw it out on Facebook or Reddit and there's no likes, there's no comments, there's no feedback, it's just nothing, then you look at it, you're like, do people like it or do they not like it? It's more difficult to deal with, right? But if you get silence, then what you can do is look at probably it's the remarkability of what you're doing. The interest level, it might be, the actual construction of it is good, but no one's getting that far. They look at it and they're like, blah, I'm not interested in this. I'm not even going to comment. I'm not even going to click on this. So that's important. If you're getting silence, then have a look at the fact that maybe you're not being out there enough. You're not being edgy enough. You're not being powerful enough. You're not being potent enough. You need to put a little bit more something into what you're doing to get people's attention so that they then get there and say, okay, you got my attention. What's this all about? That's something if you get no feedback. Now, the other thing, I was saying I got two pieces of feedback. The other one was on a course that I'm creating at the moment. I've told you guys about. It's an RPG course on Udemy, in Unity, all that kind of great things. All that kind of great things? They're great stuff. Great things, good stuff, big league things. I've been listening to Donald Trump too long. What have you done to me, Donald Trump? Anyway, so the feedback that I got was you guys are taking too long to get to the good part of making a role-playing game. I don't want to do all this stuff. Or it was, you've taken so long, get me to the good part. And so the feedback there again was, yeah, I've been worried about that myself. I want to get to the good part. I just want to make gameplay features. And let's put in, the wizard who's doing the lightning bolt to the dragon. But when you make games, if you guys are making games, you know this. It takes a long time to get to the point that you put in the sizzle and the sazzle and the great stuff, like the actual core player experience can take a while to get to. You have to plan out what you're doing. You have to build some architecture. You have to make a couple of mistakes. You need to build the foundations. You have to set your direction. You have to get the art, your level design. Like, there's a lot that goes into it before you can kind of pull it all together and, make up your recipe and then eat the meal, so to speak. So when I got that feedback from this guy, and he meant it in a really good way, he said it, a really lovely way, which didn't, it still, for me, led to me to doubt what we were doing. But the process I went through, I want to take you through the thought process so you guys can learn from this as well. The thought process was, is what he's saying true? And looking at that, that's a good start. Because if someone gets there and says, Rick, you smell, I hate you. It's like, well, you can't, maybe I do, but you can't tell. So I can see you're just guessing there. But what he said was valid. Okay, it's valid. We're taking a while to get there. And then I looked at it and said, could I do this a different way? Not really, because we've got a very specific direction, a very specific game plan, which is to lead people through the learning journey of doing the right things and the bad things and refactoring and planning and mapping it out, rather than just, hey, copy and paste exactly what we've done. It's a learning journey as opposed to do exactly, a course where it's do exactly what we've done kind of course. And so when I looked at that, that's our purpose. Then I could say, am I delivering on that purpose? And the answer was yes. So I could close the loop on, do I feel I'm going about it the way that I plan to go about it? The answer was yes there, which is great. So then it becomes a conversation about how can I listen to him and give him additional aspects of the approach so that he enjoys it and he's feeling listened to and connected, and how can I make what I'm doing better, essentially. So it's a roundabout way of me saying to you guys, how can I make my stuff better? Not change it completely, but listen to that and improve it. So when you've got your game out there, when you guys have launched your game, or when you're playtesting your game or prototyping your game, you put it out there. If someone's like, it's too slow or it's too fast or it's no good, listen to them. That's great feedback. Try making it faster or more powerful or more crazy or more unusual. And sometimes it's the tuning of your elements that's going to have the biggest impact. So we're running around, I've done some videos on this as well, running around thinking that it's going to be gameplay features. I need to put in another feature, more art, more content. Sometimes it's just going in and twiddling the dials, the knobs and the dials, and saying, what if I make the player twice as fast? How does that feel? And a lot of the times it's just speeding things up that makes the game better. So speed things up, because you're deep down in creating it, and you're like, oh, it finally works. I can make my guy jump and do a spin in the air. Hallelujah. But when someone plays it, they're like, oh, this is too slow. That's their initial reaction. So you're like, great, learning from that. So put stuff out there, listen to it, learn from people, take it all on board. That's the main thing. Take feedback on board. And as I said in the earlier part of the video, which is what I really want to get through to you guys, is keep it in context. Keep it in context. If you get one person saying blah and 5 people saying yay, then listen to the 5 yays. Give yourself a pat on the back. Keep pushing forward. And it could be like the Witness video, where I was talking about The Witness. I didn't actually enjoy the game itself, but a lot of people loved it. That's going to be the same with you for your game. And when you get the people who give you the feedback, which is like, this game's blah, then listen to it, use it, participate in the conversation, but don't let it get you down. And you know what, you guys? It's a tough journey. It's a creative process. You're working on something that you're putting your blood, sweat, and tears into, but your imagination and your creativity, it's great to get people's input, but trust yourself. Trust that you're heading in the right direction. That's really important. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep chasing what it is that you believe is important. Keep living the dream, and I'll see you guys in the next video.